Have you ever caught yourself thinking, why does my adult child act so entitled, like they expect everything but give nothing in return? You are not alone. And many of the moms that I work with feel this way, especially when estrangement adds that extra pain to the relationship. And so we know it's heartbreaking to feel like your child who you raised now seems ungrateful or even demanding. And so here's the thing that many moms tell me that I hear a lot and that I experienced. Maybe I had a hand in it. I gave my kids everything I didn't have growing up. How many of us do that? And now I wonder if I went too far. So if this sounds familiar to you, stick with me because today we're going to dive into entitlement, what it really means, what might be shaping the behavior, and how you as a mom can respond without losing yourself in the process. So let's dive in. Number one, did we accidentally foster this? So let's start with something I hear all the time. And I guess I would ask you this question. How many of you wanted to give your child a better life, better childhood than you had? Isn't that what we all want? We want our kids to feel secure and safe, have more opportunities, and to never struggle the way we did. All of our struggle looks different. But sometimes in our effort to give them everything, we unintentionally teach them to expect things to come very easily. We have to work hard for what we have. So, for example, maybe you're the mom that always jumped in to solve their problems for them. This isn't always about money. This is about regular lifestyle too. Solving problems. Maybe you even covered for them when they made mistakes or gave them things they didn't earn because you didn't want them to go without. Over time, this can create a mindset where they see giving as your job and gratitude as optional. And that stinks, right? That's hurtful. It's hard. And now you're sitting back going, oh my goodness. But I want you to know that it doesn't mean you did anything wrong. You were acting out of love. Right now, the dynamic might feel really out of balance. The good news is you can shift this. You have to start creating opportunities for them to take responsibility. Now, depending on the age of your child, this can get a little dicier when they're much older. But for example, even if they are asking for financial help, you could say, you know what, I can't give you money this time, but I'd be happy to help you figure out a budget. So showing them support while encouraging accountability. They're probably not going to like it right away, I'll be honest. But this is a good step forward for both of you and disengaging the enmeshment that you have with your adult child. So number two is society, the societal pressures that shape entitlement. We all know what those are, right? Let's look at the world that they're trying to live in. Let's look at the world that they're navigating. And it's different than what most of us faced growing up. Today's young adults are dealing with overwhelming student debt, skyrocketing rent. I hear this all the time. Job insecurity, and the constant pressure of social media. Most of us didn't deal with a lot of that. And so they're bombarded with images of people living their best lives, the highlight reel, and they might feel like they're falling behind or their life isn't fair. We're talking about these young kids, like early 20s in college, and they're expecting to have this grandiose life without having to work for anything. I don't want this to be a blanket statement. This doesn't mean that your child is lazy or ungrateful, but these are real pressures that can come out in ways that make it appear that they feel entitled. Maybe they're frustrated about their situation, and the way they're expressing that frustration to you is through a demand or an unrealistic expectation. So I want you to think about this. Have you ever felt misunderstood by your parents because they didn't know what you were going through? I mean, let's be honest, we all should be raising our hand. The same gap can exist with your adult child. Opening up a conversation with them can help bridge that gap. And you could even say, you know what, I know the world is different now than when I was your age. I mean, every mom says that, grandma says that. But can you help me understand what you're dealing with? Because maybe we don't have the whole picture. But this kind of empathy can really change the tone of your relationship. I promise you, sometimes communication, the smallest communication, less communication, more listening, less talking, can change and move mountains in your relationship with your adult child. For those of you that are ready to take the next step, walking through navigating this estrangement or this rocky relationship, if you're looking for a lifeline and you're committed to finding some peace and support, then I'd like you to explore how I can help. You can book a discovery call with me. It's an opportunity to focus on your journey with what you've got going on with your child, but it's also an opportunity for you to focus on you. And so this call is it's not a coaching call, it's a consultation where we can see if this is the right fit for both of us. Spots are definitely limited. So please only sign up if you're serious about prioritizing, your own well-being in this relationship with your child. So when you are ready for that, you can click the link for that. So I want to dive into number 3, and that is how to respond. The $1 million question. One of the biggest challenges on how to respond to your adult child when they're acting entitled, sometimes they're expecting you to drop everything for them. It's not asked, it's expected. Or they're lashing out when you set boundaries. I hear this all the time. It's so tempting to react, get emotional, or match their negative energy, all of those kinds of things. So either by giving in to them to avoid conflict, or you're getting defensive. But here's the truth. Both of these reactions reinforces the behavior. So instead, I want you to focus on being calm and consistent. For example, if they say, why can't you just help me? Just fix this for me. You're like, you know what? I care about you and I want to support you in ways that are going to help you grow. And me doing everything for you is not helping. So let's talk about how we can handle this together. To me, this balances the boundaries and models mutual respect, because that's what you're looking for in this relationship. The key here is consistency. When you show up with calm, you could even call it leadership, being a calm mom, even when you're frustrated, even when they're frustrated, you're teaching them how to handle conflict without escalating it. And number 4 is the emotional toll. So let's talk about the toll that this has on you. Feeling like your child acts entitled is difficult, right? It's exhausting. It's heartbreaking. It's easy to internalize their behavior and think, what did I do wrong? Entitlement is not always about your parenting. It's often shaped by the other things we already mentioned, but also by personality, society we already talked about, but also it's their own life experiences. We all have different life experiences. Your 2 kids could be raised in the same home and have different life experiences. They're different people, different humans. But what you can control is how you take care of yourself. So many of the moms that I coach tell me they feel drained because they give and give, hoping their child will notice or change. But pouring from an empty cup leaves you feeling more depleted. This is where self-care comes in, and it's necessary. So when you as a mom are prioritizing your emotional health, you're going to be better equipped to handle challenges with much more clarity and strength. Make sure you're carving out some time for yourself, whether that is joining a support coaching group like what I have, journaling, taking a walk to clear your mind. You know what? It's okay to ask for help because you do not have to navigate this alone. I know this was a touchy subject. Entitlement can raise a lot of feathers in people for you and for your adult child. But I just want you to know you're not alone in this. These challenges can be very complex, but we can navigate through them together. So don't forget to take care of yourself along the way, of course. And just remember, healing a relationship is a journey. It's not a quick fix. And we want to build back an authentic relationship with our sons and daughters, not just what we left behind, right? Not what we had before. Because if we go back to what we had before, it's not fixed, right? Something was fractured. So take care. I hope this helped. God bless.